Paula. I'm back for week 2 of the Philadelphia Cream Cheese Contest. This week we're doing appetizers, and I have a great one for you. I have a savory Gorgonzola Cheesecake. Okay, first we're going to start with our crust. This is a cracker crust with melted butter, and just pick any kind of a cracker that you like. Okay, so we've got about a cup to a cup and a half of cracker crumbs here, and I'm going to reserve just about half a cup. So we'll start with a cup. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter to the crust. Stir that up. And you can tell by the texture of how much butter you need. And that actually looks pretty good. That's going to sit nicely in that pan. But now here I've got some fresh rosemary. Okay, that looks good. And I'd say that's about a teaspoon of the chopped rosemary. Okay, now just mix that all up so that it's just a little bit sticky so you can put it into your pan. Okay, now we've got a spring-form pan in here, and we're going to dump this crust right into here and press it down all along the bottom. Okay, I've patted the crust into the bottom of the pie pan, up the sides just a little bit. That looks really good. Now I'm going to stick this in a 350 oven for about 15 minutes to give it a little crust. And then I'll show you the rest of the cheesecake in just a minute. Okay, I've got my crust out of the oven, and it looks just beautiful. You should smell the rosemary as you're taking this out of the oven. And how simple is this crust? It's really 3 ingredients. It's the cracker crumbs, the butter, and the salt and the rosemary. So now I'm going to show you the filling. This is where it really gets good. We're going to start with 2 8-ounce blocks of Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to put that right into the mixer. The mixer is fitted with a paddle attachment. And one more in there. Then we're going to put in the true flavoring of this cream cheese, which is Gorgonzola. It's about a cup or about 8 ounces of crumbled Gorgonzola cheese, and just put that right in there. Oh, all of that's my favorite. It's one of my favorite cheeses. I love this. To that we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream. All this it's really nice. It just all gets put right into the food processor. The only step is just putting it all in the processor. So I like that. Then we're going to put in 3 eggs. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of grated lemon rind in. And I'd say that's really just about a half a teaspoon. But it makes a big difference. It really does. Okay, now I've got some shallots here. The cream cheese. I love this part because you don't have to cook the onions. I'll tell you, we live here in New England, and we have such long, hard, cold winters that by the time summer comes around, we're really ready to get together with our friends and have some cookouts, and it's a real celebration because we have been in for a long time, and we're like a bunch of bears hibernating all winter. So now I'm going to put this in here. So it's really nice to have these dishes that you can pull out when you have people stop over spontaneously for a cookout or just to say hi because we're finally out of our houses. And so I like to have this in, and I'll show you how I freeze it and slice it up later. So in go the shallots. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of a nice dry wine. This is a nice Italian Pinot Grigio. This also gives it a little zip to the flavor. I'm just going to mix that all in. And into this I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. Turn your mixer down so you don't get the flour all over you. And mix that up until it's completely incorporated. And that looks about right. We're going to pour the cheese into this and get ready to bake it. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at that. Just pour that right in. Oh, this is going to be so good. You're going to love this. Now I really do. I like to, this makes a, as you can see, a big cheesecake. I like to put it in the freezer and freeze it up. That way I can just pull it out and take slices off as people stop by. And then I have this appetizer that looks like it's very special. Looks like it was done just for them. And you always have it on hand. I love things like that. Okay, now on top of this, I'm going to take some pine nuts, some pinoles. I'm just going to sprinkle it around the top before I bake it. And you don't even have to toast these pine nuts before you. Okay, that's it. We're going to put it back in the oven now for at 350 for about 50 minutes. But you have to watch it because oven temperatures vary. And you just want to make sure that it's set just like a cheesecake. So I'm going to put this in my oven. And I'll be back when I take it out of the oven. Okay, Paula, we're ready to take our cheesecake out of the oven, and you should smell my kitchen. I can't wait to bring this out. I'm sure it's going to look really beautiful. It's right at about 50 minutes of cooking time. So we're going to take this out, and oh, look at that. That is so perfect. Can you see that? Gorgeous cheesecake. Savory. Appetizer. Not sweet. Now you have to let this cool in the pan at room temperature and then chill it in the refrigerator overnight so that it gets nice and firm. But when you serve it, you want to serve it at room temperature. So I'm going to let this cool down, put it away, and I'm going to show you how some different ideas for serving it up. Putting the different toppings on can change the whole flavor, and I have some really interesting ones for you. And they only take a minute. Some of them are only one ingredient, so I'll be back. Okay, here I've plated up this cheesecake for a party. Now you can see this serves a lot of people at a party. If you're having a party, it's great to put this out, and you can cut it into slices, and it serves a lot of people. I'm going to show you a piece that I've cut here. Through, down the middle, little pie wedge, like this, and here we go. Look at that. That is just the most beautiful, savory cheesecake. Okay, Paula, the first option that I have for serving this is really simple. I just sauteed some grape tomatoes in a little bit of olive oil and garlic, salt and pepper, and parsley. Real simple, real quick on the stove. Just put a little bit of the Gorgonzola cheesecake right onto a little crostini. Take a cherry tomato or grape tomato that you sauteed, and look how delicious that is. Okay, another option that I have for you is really simple. It's one ingredient. I told you it's going to have a one ingredient option, and that's just honey. Gorgonzola and honey just go so deliciously together. Drizzle that honey right over the top like this. One more I have for you, and this one is really extra good, really, really delicious. I just put it on a plate with a little balsamic vinegar reduction, and this just can make this look so pretty. Just take about 2 cups of balsamic vinegar and boil it down till till it's the consistency of syrup. And this balsamic reduction is as sweet as the honey. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my savory Gorgonzola cheesecake. As you can see, it's really delicious, just plain. Put this out at a party, it always goes. But if you have leftovers, because it serves a lot, freeze it and pull it out and serve it in all different ways. You can come up with your own ways too, but the cherry tomatoes, the honey, the balsamic reduction, add a glass of wine, and you have got the most beautiful appetizer options to serve any time of the year. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Savannah. It will be really a thrill to meet you. I hope you like my appetizer enough to invite me there. Bye, Paula.